It's Baby and Mary, we know you have been waiting, so here's another podcast about movies, Burn After Watching.
Welcome to the Burn After Watching podcast. I'm Borderlnd.
And I'm Mary.
And today we are back with a new episode. We are talking Eddington, the new Ari Aster movie.
Let's go.
Let's go. So let's set the table here. I think actually when we talked about Beau is Afraid, I personally haven't had seen all his movie. We watched Hereditary recently, but was that your first time as well?
Yes.
All right.
I thought I had seen it, but I'm unsure.
Yeah.
And now I'm...
You're forgetting?
No, I'm not forgetting. I'm thinking when I saw that movie, if I had seen it, I would remember it.
Yeah. It's pretty memorable.
Yes.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, like I guess in general, I like Ari Aster. Like okay, I'm not blown away. I think Hereditary is a good movie. It's solid. I understand why people like it. It's not my cup of tea, but I still appreciate it. Midsommar, slightly below that for me. It's still a good film, but I would say it's getting a bit close to like I'm not super interested to rewatch this. Beau is Afraid, I hated personally. It's like a very bad film from last year for me. And that's kind of where I stand in terms of Ari Aster. What about you?
Ari Aster to me is so fascinating. Yeah, I can't wrap my head around him, yet I'm super fascinated by his universe. I really liked Beau is Afraid, even though it's very long. You know how much I love Joaquin Phoenix as well, so he's a huge part of the movie.
Yep.
I also really like Midsommar.
Mm-hmm.
A great performance by Florence Pugh in this movie. Very good. Hereditary to me is my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, the ending is so fucked up. I still think about it often, and he's so weird. So I don't know like what I was expecting with Eddington.
So we are totally flipped. My favorite is Hereditary. My least favorite is Beau is Afraid. So we're gonna get both perspective here on Eddington. You're gonna get someone that like is more abstract, like almost like
no. To me though, like
spiritual.
No, though, because he has like his one of his recurrent theme and obsession is clearly cults. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really liked in Midsommar. How a group of people can make something so weird be accepted by other people. Yeah. And like all the empathy theme. And to me, Eddington was the first movie where there's still like the community theme and everything. And
cult-like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so
actually, that's a really good point. See, like the first thing that would come to mind for me is more like trauma.
Also,
emotional trauma.
Yeah.
But cult is really an interesting thing because obviously the cult-like kind of like things with the mother in Hereditary, obviously the major cult element in Midsommar. Then you have like a cult-like almost relationship with his mother in Beau is Afraid. That's kind of like more group thinking and like its own mental kind of like all the things he created in his own mind, which is very similar to how a cult work with all those kind of like false truth that are created through the group.
Yeah, like it's interesting because in Beau is Afraid, it's like a mini cult with his mom.
Yeah.
Just a very, very toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you would think a cult is like a big number of people, especially like in Midsommar.
Only 2 people.
Right? Yeah.
Like
us. No.
And it's funny because like 2020, so Eddington is set in a small Arizona town in the 2020, really in the peak COVID.
Really at the start.
Starting point. Early COVID.
Yeah.
Early social justice, Black Lives Matters, George Floyd are all things that are called out directly by name in the film. And obviously there was a lot of cult-like thinking happening during that time. People were kind of like
conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So this is the setting. We have Joaquin Phoenix, who's the sheriff of the small town, and then you have Pedro Pascal, who's the mayor of the town, and he's seeking re-election. That's kind of like our starting point.
Yeah.
I guess, what was your expectation? What was your first impression?
Gosh. It's funny because before going to see the movie, I was hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, is it too early to talk about, the pandemic and everything that happened?" And I was like, I don't think so. You know, if it's done in a good way,
That's the thing.
done in a good way.
If it's for a good reason.
Also, yes. Like, okay, my first impression of the movie when I got out of the theater is Joaquin Phoenix, I love you. You're great.
Great performance.
I adore him.
I actually like
He's
him
my
more
favorite actor
in this than Beau is Afraid. I think it was a more interesting character because, and it's not that he has a bad performance. It's just that because the character of Beau is so lost in his own mind, it's less like fully understanding the choice of a person. He feels controlled to an extent where a lot of things he does is not really because he wants to do them. And for me, it's more interesting seeing someone thinking about why he's doing something. That's more, also for an actor, it's a lot harder to play.
I don't know
how someone get to an answer instead of being just control, and he doesn't have to convey how he gets somewhere. He just gets there. So that's why for me, it was more interesting of a performance.
Yeah. To me, it was very good too. Very, very different. But the first word that came in mind when I got out of the theater, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And it was so messy.
Yes.
That's the first word that came to mind.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a different type of messy than what I would say Beau is Afraid. I think even if you like Beau is Afraid, you have to admit it's a bit messy. But I think it's purposeful.
All his movies they have like a messiness. It gets really crazy in the end.
But every feel more control.
Yeah, but in the end, in that little treehouse, is
things go
crazy.
Off. But I feel like it's more, it's the story that is messy. Like real life is messy. It's not the editing or the directing or the technical choices that are messy. And that's where, to me, it feels like he did a really good film that was really well received. He did a second film that was equally well received. And then A24 were like, hey, go do whatever you want. Here's millions of dollars. We're not going to tell you anything anymore. And I think he's kind of like...
Are we sure that? Is that what happened?
Well, I mean, A24 are very much like a studio or like a distributor, really, that are kind of like, for the artists. And I think that's great.
That's
I think
cool. Yeah.
Like, we need studio like this. But I think, like, there is some director that should not have, it's kind of weird to say, but
Carte
final
blanche?
cut. Final cut of, like, you choose what the finished product of the movie will be. A lot of director, even seasoned, well-respected director like Denis Villeneuve, didn't have final cut of Dune 2. The studio had final cut. They decided, no, we're going to cut this. Obviously, most of the time, the studio will respect the goal of the director, but often the director thinks about, I'm doing a movie for this, and the studio have to say, well, I have to go sell this, and people want to go watch it, and etc.
Yeah, that's a tough subject. Yeah, it's tough. But I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying Ari Aster should never have it. I'm saying like maybe it's a bit too early and he's getting self-indulgent.
Yeah.
And it's showing in time, it's like the first hour of this film could be 20 minutes, like to set up like what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
And then the rest, I think the second and third acts are really good. The first act is just so long.
Yeah, it's very long. It's so weird because I feel that I enjoyed myself by times.
Yes,
it was
me
really
too.
interesting visually. I wish we saw more Emma Stone in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
She's so
What a
good.
waste.
I love her. And I wish that he had developed more the cult guy,
Austin Butler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like him
Me too.
And it's as if they set up that side story that they never really
goes nowhere.
went. Yeah. There's a lot of that. And,
There's a lot of that.
And yeah, I kind of was just expecting more with those different stories going on.
Yeah, I do think that, like, for me, I totally agree with you. I think that it set up a lot of things and you think it's going to accumulate to something. I think it does deliver on some aspect of it. But I feel like the movie is juggling so many things. It doesn't know where to go. And eventually, like, it'll lose track of certain things. And so let's just go into spoiler. So just by the way, if you don't want to hear any spoiler, maybe you should just wait to go check it out. If you don't really care, we're going to be talking about spoiler.
Yeah.
So I think once the whole Joaquin Phoenix is the sheriff who do not like the health measure associated with COVID. So wearing a mask, etc. For him, the stance is not like a necessarily kind of like anti-vaccine kind of stance. It's more like we are a community. We should take care of each other. And it's important that we don't create measure that distance each other, especially in a time like this. And I do believe that Joaquin Phoenix come from a good place when he decided to run against the mayor, Pedro Pascal, who is just respecting the health procedure from like the states they are in, right?
Yeah.
I think this takes 45 minutes to be set up. It could be 15 minutes. There's like 3 different scenes where he's being asked to put a mask on. And it's like, we get kind of like why he's doing what he's doing at some point. We should just move on.
And they could have kept the only, like, the most interesting to me was when he defends this old man who wants to go do his groceries.
That's all you need.
Exactly. Just
you could start there, the movie there, if you wanted to.
I agree.
And then you also set up that he has a wife who had some kind of like depression or trauma in the past, and is requiring a lot of like help and support, and also is requiring a lot of calm and quiet. So I think there's some kind of
the mom.
Yeah, and the mom is into conspiracy theory and stuff, and she goes kind of crazy. She's
good. I love her.
Yeah, so she's
she was the mom in Penguin.
Penguin, yeah. Good little role and everything.
Not little.
But I mean, she's not in the movie that. Oh yeah, she's there a lot.
Yeah,
Emma Stone is
good.
there even less.
Yeah.
And then you have this. So what I love is that you have this modern Western flair with the Arizona during COVID. It's a very interesting setting. And then you have the mayor and you have the sheriff going after each other. You have the sheriff kind of like not necessarily in like not having the knowledge to necessarily run a campaign, but he's kind of just doing it for the people. And you have like the mayor who's kind of more of the, like he has like it's funny, like almost like sometimes they try to frame him as, is he a bad guy pretending to be good, or is he good? But they don't ever kind of close that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like what is good and what is bad. A lot of that theme is really important in the movie.
So it feels like it's going to be a big
right
movie
and the left. Yeah.
Around that. But then you have like a whole social justice protest, George Floyd is like called by name happening, and then it becomes almost like a thriller. That was my favorite moment, was like the like Western, how high will you go to win this race kind of thing, or expose each other and then they tell a lie about each other. Like that's interesting to me. But then it devolved into like a murder that kind of like becomes a investigation with the police, and he's investigating himself. Yeah. And then it becomes like an action movie after that. Yeah. After that, it gets like so crazy, like drones and explosion and machine gun. And I was like, it feels like there's so many things. There's like 10 movies in one film.
On. Yeah. So much going on.
It's too confused.
Yeah, I know.
For me, the true core that I really liked, and I understand that everyone might like something different, but for me, it's like the interesting left versus right campaign to be a mayor in the middle of a small town, and the extent that people will go in desperate situation to get a win. Especially that you have a sheriff who's down on his knee. There's a lot of things against him. His wife, the mother-in-law, all of this. There's just so many things against him, and you feel for him. Yeah. Like you want to root for him in a way, even though it feels like he's not the perfect guy, but he feels like he has something there that you want to root for. But then it gets abandoned for some kind of like Coen brother-esque comedy, satire at times. Sometimes they try to make fun of COVID. Sometimes they make a lot of fun of like social justice, like teen that get on with like the movement and everything, but they don't know what they're talking about. If you want to bring me into this universe and make me relive all this, at least say something about it. Don't just use it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. One thing we mentioned when we got out of the movie is, what is this trying to say? Yeah. Like, why did we use the whole COVID, Black Lives Matter, all this to say nothing about it?
Nothing.
Right? One thing to me that was really interesting is when he murders the mayor.
Pedro Pascal, yeah.
Yeah. And the other policeman comes on set and he says, oh, I found this bullet. And he notices how he writes his E's when he goes into that to me was really interesting.
Yeah.
But we got lost in so much stuff. I was exhausted when I got out of there. It's crazy.
And then there's a lot of things that also makes almost no sense. You have one of the policemen that's part of this town police
who works
team.
with him.
Yeah, the black guy.
Yeah.
Who gets arrested and then gets
framed.
Broken through by the Black Lives Matter people that come in a jet with drones.
Yeah.
And then he gets set up as a pawn in the middle of nowhere for the policeman to come, and then it feels like, how did this ever, it's not explained how any of this kind of makes sense, even in that universe. Even if you wanted to suspend an amount of disbelief, it's like none of this feel real. It feels like very convenient to get to something else, which is a big kind of shootout at the end. I think that for me, the truly real things this movie does right is
social media
and how it can fuel someone to become paranoid and manic, and lose his mind. And you kind of get it when it's so thin. It's like, gosh, if you just focus on this, you had 2.5 hours and you spend so much time on other things that was really not useful.
Yeah, I agree. And even in the end, when Joaquin is, we see him in his chair, he's paralyzed.
Yeah.
And his mom shows him Emma Stone, who's pregnant. Yeah.
It's supposed to close the story, but it makes no sense.
Yeah. And I thought it was kind of weird. Why did he decide to talk about the people that were kind of brought into a different sorts of cults or conspiracy theories, which is something that really happened to a lot of people. To me, it was very insensitive the way that it was addressed, and many other things too, like the Black Lives Matter. And
yeah, I agree.
Just what my question is, well, why? What is the point here?
And again, it's not that I have no problem if you want to make a movie about this. I don't have no problem if you want to use any of those things. But I think for me to find it enjoyable, make it relevant to the story. Don't make it just a setting and then you move on, you crack a few jokes and then it doesn't matter at all at the end. That's what, for me, it's yeah, you can do that. But I don't know why I would care for your movie if your movie is all show.
Yeah, I agree. And to me, there's a lot of, maybe you won't agree on this with me, but I feel that there's a lot of use of violence that is kind of unnecessary to me.
I mean, yeah. I don't feel like it's a big deal because violence in a movie that is that kind of I don't want to call it an action movie, but it's a thriller.
But it's not done in a way that Tarantino would do.
No, of course not. It's more real, but it's not real. Obviously, he blows someone's legs off with a gun. It just doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in a thriller, for me, it's a thriller. You can put as much violence as you want. It doesn't need to be to mean something because of their genre. If you put violence in something like a comedy, I'm if it's not if it's not funny, then it's why are you putting violence in a comedy? To me, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't mesh. But it's part of the kind of fabric of a thriller, certain amount of violence.
Yeah.
After that, I think is a preference, right?
Yeah.
I think we'd have different level of violence that we're okay with.
But it's interesting though how all his main characters in all his movies, at the end of the movie, they are they're fucked.
Yeah.
You know me, I love true crime and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm not going for to have a fun time or anything, but
it doesn't need a happy ending.
gosh, it was
But at the same time, it's I guess because you feel you watch all this for nothing, then it's
that's it.
Yeah.
For nothing.
If it was for No Country for Old Men is violent.
Oh my God, yes.
As violent as this, similar type of film, and it's a modern Western, totally different film, but there's some parallel there. But the violence doesn't feel in No Country for Old Men. I don't even think about the violence when I think about the film because it's such in service of the story and of the movie that you can't imagine it without it. Mm-hmm. This movie, it feels a bit out of place sometime, and I agree with you because you have a murder at the beginning who's like treated in a very realistic way, the murder of the mayor. But then at the end, it's almost we're leaning into like Tarantino kind of level of like
exactly
unrealistic kind of violence.
That's
it's like
it's kind of weird.
It's like the tone. It feels like a movie that was shot by 3 different people and they just put everything together.
That's it. Because I was trying to think, you know, I adore No Country for Old Men. And I think what I love about the movie is it's not trying to take a stance on like important subjects. It's not trying to name drop this or COVID or whatever. I think my problem with Eddington is, first of all, the length. For real, it's too long.
Well, it's too long.
It's messy
because it's not good.
Yeah,
because No Country for Old Men is also 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's messy. It's name dropping a lot of things. Like, what is the point? That's my question.
Yeah, and
I'd be curious to watch one of those director on director episode where he
did
talks.
One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did one.
And what did you watch it?
No.
Gosh.
But to me, the thing is, like,
I like him. And it's funny because when you watch Yorgos Lanthimos' movie, they are long and there's a lot happening. To me, if there's one director that I would compare him with is Yorgos. And to me, Yorgos is, I don't know how to explain it, but it's as if he's, to me, Yorgos masters more like his universe, his message. Like I'm thinking about a movie like Poor Things.
Yeah.
Poor Thing. That is really taking a stance on important subject, you know.
Even Kinds of Kindness is long, but like for what it is, because it's 3 story, each 3 story are pretty straightforward, pretty like it doesn't feel like all of them are long within themselves. It's just that like you have 3 of them.
And there's a lot of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, he gets crazy too. Like I have no problem with that.
No, me neither.
I have a problem with the choices that are made that need to be made to like elevate your story.
I was thinking, you know, in one of the 3 stories of Kinds of Kindness, Emma Stone, his wife, I can't remember really well, but gets kind of crazy and like
the second one
stabs.
She disappears and she come back.
Yeah. And at first I was like, it's so weird that that's
my favorite one.
Yeah, super realistic universe, and then some like subnatural stuff started.
Supernatural.
Not really, but weird stuff starts happening, and it's as if Yorgos is better at it to include it. Like, you know what we're talking about of Eddington trying to be by 3 different people. Like you don't feel that when it's Yorgos.
Yorgos control his style. He knows exactly what he want to do and he does it well.
And I'm sure some people are like, why are you comparing Yorgos with
Well, I mean, even
Ari
if you compare
Aster,
with Robert Eggers, like again, crazy style, not for everyone, very particular, very unique. Like you can tell when you're watching one of his films, especially like Nosferatu, The Lighthouse, The Witch, maybe a bit less than Northman, but still, you can tell it's him. Now, you might not like that. That's totally fine. But he has a very unique voice and he's controlling it and it's very clear. It doesn't feel like something is there for the sake of being there. It always feels so purposeful.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I wonder though, like, because definitely chaos is one of the main like thing with Ari Aster.
And he's good at it.
He's really good at it. Like especially the opening scene of Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
Like when he crosses to go get water.
The first 30 minutes. Yeah.
I love that scene so much. But there's something that is really exhausting as the person watching the movie and very, very messy.
Yeah.
And that one specifically makes me so pissed because, right, COVID, Black Lives Matter, and we're just going to name drop them and do nothing with it.
Yeah, and what bothers me is that probably this felt like the one on paper that had the biggest chance to be like a winner for me, because horror film are not my thing. So even though I appreciate them, I would not want to rewatch that much. But I was afraid like the super abstract artsy stuff is not always my cup of tea. This one, a modern Western, Pedro Pascal, as much as I feel like he's He's
okay.
everywhere, but he's just been okay recently. Like, I feel like his performances are a bit flat.
In Last of Us, I like him.
I like him. In Materialist, extremely flat. In this, he plays the same character, the same kind of like notes a lot. And especially, it's not that bad when you see him once a year on a big movie, but now it's like 3 movies in like 3 months. You have Materialist, you have the Fantastic Four, and you have this. If you go watch all 3, it's a lot of him hitting the same notes. And I like Phoenix as well. Like, it had so many good things going for it that it could have become my favorite movie of his. But even like, it had potential to be a really good movie this year. And I just feel like it falls extremely flat.
I know. I agree.
It's a burn for me.
Yeah, me too.
And I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, me too.
I see there's a 30 minutes in there that is like a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
The rest is just like a below 2.5. So it average out.
Yeah. And again, Joaquin, to me,
Very good.
Joaquin.
Joaquin.
I adore him. He's a solid
He's great.
4.5. He carries the whole movie.
I don't think he's best actor of the year. Performance. I mean, I don't have any actor that blew me away right now.
What movie do we like this year? I can't even remember.
Well, you haven't seen Sinners. Yeah, there's a lot of movie you haven't seen.
I don't want to see Sinners.
Well, it's going to be like one of the movie that for sure will get nominated for best film.
What else?
Black Bag you haven't seen, which is another great film.
I've seen Superman.
Yeah. But obviously, in terms of like movie that could be nominated, like actors that could be nominated, it's going to be Sinners, maybe Robert Pattinson and Mikey 17, even though the movie didn't do that well. I think it's that's probably my favorite performance of the year.
Yeah, he was really good in
and that. He was wild, and he had to put him twice.
Yeah.
Sinners 2, though, like it's Michael B. Jordan play twins, so you play both sides.
Okay.
So and it's a more artsy. Actually, Mikey 17 is pretty artsy, but Sinners, I personally don't think it's a performance that would give an Oscar. Mickey 17, I think so. I don't think this one I would give a nomination for. There's
a lot of movies to come, though.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, all the good movies are in front of us.
Begonia.
28 years later.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, and I heard you talk about it, and I really want to see it.
Yeah, so that has... I think that Ralph Fiennes could get a supporting, but I doubt it. But he could. But I wouldn't put my money on it. Yeah, so I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, really strong performance. Maybe he gets in there, but it would have to be a pretty underwhelming couple of months for him to get a nomination because you have so many good films coming out.
I know.
All right, thank you everyone for listening to the pod. We're gonna be coming back soonish. There's not a lot of good things coming out in July, August. Thank you everyone for listening.
Love you.
Have a good one. Bye.